So I got an alert from my bank. It was actually a phone call that was a recorded message after I made a few transactions away from home, which I guess is kind of normal. I mean, this is like a normal occurrence. It's happened more than once, but you know, as we are actually traveling and spending some time, Squirrel Tribe, my wife, she really wanted to hit this Disney 50th anniversary Disney Christmas thing. So, you know, I agreed. I don't even know if I agreed. I don't even know if it was a choice or an option, but long story short, here we are, you know, or at least we're about to be. But since we are away from home, Bank of America, which was the card of the account that I was using while I was traveling, sent me an alert. I had a message, and then I apparently had this voicemail, which was warning me of card activity, and basically I had to approve or deny the transactions before I could continue to use my card. But hey, you know, is this banking security or is this banking oversight? You know, like, you know, how far does this really go? But I think it plays a huge part in understanding the position that the banks are currently in, because you got to think, these banks, they cannot allow themselves to be exposed and ultimately vulnerable to the possibility of fraudulent charges and having to reimburse customers for these funds, especially with the liquidity crisis that the banks are already facing currently with the current state of the economy, the Fed, inflation, recession, job loss. Folks, we're probably going to see a huge influx of banking practices and policy changes as a result of the economy and people ultimately on hard times, and or folks out there looking to get some money up out of some other people's accounts. Okay, shit's getting a little crazy right now. Money's tight. People are on high alert. They're scared. They have high levels of anxiety, and they're just trying to figure out, how am I going to get by? How am I going to make it to the next week, to the next paycheck, next Friday? And some of these folks are going to be looking for ways to you know, use the system to their advantage. But these banks aren't stupid. They're not going to sit there and lay down and let you walk all over them. And, you know, I think this is par for the course and something that we should probably be paying very close attention to, because you could find yourself in a situation where they shut down your account because they don't like the transactions that are occurring and they feel as though they're at risk. So they're going to protect number one, first and foremost. The buck stops here, folks, before they let this stuff get out of hand and be on the hook for hundreds, possibly even thousands of dollars. But shoot, it's crazy. I actually had somebody ask me the other day. They were like, "Hey man, can I borrow some money?" I'm like, "For what?" They're like, "Yo, I need to pay my car note." I'm like, "What?" Man, it's getting crazy out here. And unfortunately, I couldn't loan any money. I can't loan somebody money to pay on a loan, okay? Perhaps maybe you've made some poor decisions financially in your life, which you now are paying a loan on a vehicle that you can't even afford. And that's not good, you know? And ironically, somebody actually asked me, they said, "Man, how do you afford a Porsche? You know, these things, how do you afford a Porsche? And, you know, it's got to be expensive." And I'm thinking like, I don't know. I got, you know, I make money. I got good credit. I got a great interest rate. And it is what it is. To me, it's nothing special. Because, you know, there's folks out there with $200,000 Porsches. Man, this joker's 2017. But ironically, my Porsche Macan GTS, 2017 Porsche Macan GTS, I actually had its first annual service done. And I'm actually gonna bring you guys a video with some information on that, because I had somebody ask me, I had a colleague ask me, he said, man, how much does it cost to get the annual service on a Porsche Macan? And I was like, man, I don't even know. But we came up with like estimates on what we thought it would be. Now, I'll tell you what, let me show you this. I'll tell you what, I got it right here. And it's got the breakdown and everything of what they did. And y'all ready? Y'all ready? I'll take it. I'll take it.
What are you doing?
I just need to put my sweater on. This is the sweater that Steven got me. Freedom Lover. It's a whole lot chillier than, I thought it wasn't gonna be this bad.
Remember when I was gonna wear a sweatshirt, like, really, you think it's gonna be that cold?
Yeah, 61.
At home,
Yeah, it's different than here. Appreciate it, thank you. So, actually, I got the paperwork. I don't even know if you guys can still hear me. I got the paperwork where it actually breaks down everything that they did. I actually had to have them look into a minor problem that they still have to repair, but it is a CPO, certified pre-owned. So it's covered for 2 years or something, unlimited mileage, so I don't have to pay out of pocket for it, which is part of why I chose this vehicle and Porsche in general, because their warranty is so good. It helps mitigate my costs and limit my out-of-pocket expenses, making it a much more economical and affordable vehicle to drive on a regular basis and maintenance and maintain. However, with that being said, we came up with estimates on what we thought the annual service would be, and pleasantly surprised, I guess, sort of. I'll share the full breakdown with you guys in a future video, but based on the amount that it costs for an annual service in comparison to what most people would spend on other vehicles that require service every 3,000 miles, every 3 months, every 5,000 miles, or more frequent intervals throughout the year, this one is actually a whole lot cheaper. It's a whole lot cheaper in comparison to most other vehicles out there. So it's kind of like, you know, do you want to pay more up front, or you want to pay more later? Do you want to have the risk and possibility of having expensive repairs that need to be done out of pocket, or do you want to have certified pre-owned? Which, as I was there, I had a few of the service technicians ask me if I wanted to sell it because of the way it looked, the condition it was in, the mods that had been done to it, and they know that I'm eyeing perhaps maybe a 911, a 991.2 or 992 911. And they're like, well, let me get that GTS up off you because that joker is nasty.